wins it! The golden goal for the United States!
All right, look, February 22nd, 2026, the entire world's eyes were on Milan while Canada and the US were playing the game for the gold medal. And in overtime, Jack Hughes takes a shot and wins the first gold medal for the US team since 1980. Crowd erupts, everybody goes crazy. He took the shot. What most people don't know is that shot wasn't first taken that day on the ice in Milan. It was taken hours, weeks, and months prior in Jack's mind. And he used a very powerful technique on how to make your goals a reality that you can use to get the things you want in your life. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Michael Bernoff. For 25 plus years, I've been working with high performers, showing them how to get the goals that they want in life, whether it's personal, financial, whether it's UFC fighters, whether people in the movie business, people like you that said, listen, I am so talented and I'm doing great things, but I know that I could do better. I'm looking for the competitive advantage. That's exactly what you're gonna find in this channel. So if this is the first video you've ever seen, perfect video to get started on showing you how to get the things that you want in your life and start making them real. So let's get started. Who is Jack Hughes? Well, if you were alive anywhere on the 22nd of February, 2026, the US Hockey Olympic team won for the first time since 1980, and they won it in an incredible fashion. Not only did they beat Canada, which is the rivals of the US at the time, what they did was they won in overtime and truly changed the way the entire world sees hockey in America. And I guarantee you right now, while you're watching this video, there are little boys and girls practicing all over the world. How do I be like Jack Hughes? How do I score the overtime winner? But I gotta tell you, the technique he used had nothing to do with being on the ice. And it's something that you can use immediately for whatever you want in life and business. You gotta have something you want. Well, this guy obviously wanted to win a gold medal. He wanted to win at the Olympics and he wanted to win for his team. And maybe for you, it's something as simple as there's a sale you want to make. There's somebody you want to attract into your life. There's a person that you desire, to be with, a teammate that you want to build on your team, or something as simple as I want to make 6 figures, make $1 million, or take my company from 1 million to 10 million. The goal doesn't matter. It is the process, because the way the universe works, and I share this all the time, whatever you have the ability to ask for has the ability to possibly come true if you get your mind working with your actions. And what most people do, they got great actions, but is your mind working in the direction you need? So I found a clip online. I'll get a chance to share this with you later. Not the one of him getting the game-winning goal, but with the conversation that he had with his brother, who is a couple years older, the night prior. What was interesting about it was, when we watch that video here in a little bit, you're gonna see a couple of techniques that you're gonna be able to use. Number one is the night prior. Now I want you to pay attention when I say the night prior, because there's something about night that is going to be able to use to your advantage. And the coolest part about it is this will take 0 effort. You're doing it anyways. And you have the ability to activate this inside of you starting this evening to show up tomorrow in your life. So the night prior, they were in their room in the Olympic Village. I just want to draw the picture for you. And he turned over to his brother because they could tell he couldn't sleep, because he said, they could hear it's 11 o'clock at night and heard he couldn't sleep. And he turned over and goes, what are you thinking about? He goes, man, I just can't stop picturing it. Now pay attention to that word, visualization. I can't stop picturing the overtime winner that I'm gonna get. And you know what his brother said? Man, I can't stop picturing it either. So number one is you've got to visualize. And visualize is not just picture, it's have an emotion, a sound, maybe it's the crowd. Picture what you see out of your own eyes, and bonus point, if you see it in first person and in color. If you want to understand how the mind works in a really, really cool way. It works based on pictures, sounds, and feelings. So when Hollywood wants to bring people in and get their attention, it bases what can I show them, what can it sound like, and how do I create the feeling? So if you've got a feeling of something you want, like these boys, they had a feeling of this goal he wanted to achieve, and he pictured himself doing it on the ice, and he could hear the crowd in advance. That's a big part. The second part of the puzzle, that was the nighttime stuff that I talked about. So the first is visualize. The second is prior to going to sleep. Now, what most people don't realize is before you go to bed at night, Whatever you think about lives inside of your unconscious mind. There's the conscious mind, the little things that you can do on a regular basis, consciously pick something up, consciously, do something. And then there's the unconscious mind, which is 25, 30,000 gazillion programs running right now as you're watching this video. It's why your heart is pumping. There's blood going through your circulatory system. You have got your lungs are breathing as you're watching this right now. You're knowing what to do because your unconscious mind is running thousands and thousands of programs at any given moment. So whatever you think about before you go to bed is not guaranteed to be what you think about in the morning, but it's going to be part of the sleeping process and permeate into what it is you do. This is why they call it dreaming. And most people, when they think of dreams, the dreams at night or somebody daydreaming during the day. But a dream has the ability to be something that we do on a regular basis. So number one, it's got to be vivid. It's got to be emotional, something you hear, something you see. Number two, something that you do prior to going to sleep. And the reason it's so important before you go to sleep is let your unconscious mind do the work. You don't have to work so hard. While you're sleeping, it's playing it out and starts to think it's real. So the whole concept of manifesting and attracting things you want, I do this with golfer clients all the time, people that want to get in the movie business, that want to attract parts. I do this with clients that want to attract people in life. I literally had a gentleman that I worked with, and he is a real estate agent. And I said to him, what are you looking for? He said, I'd love to go out there, Michael, and have the people that I want show up in my life. I said, have you allowed yourself to do that? He goes, well, what do you mean allowed myself? Here's what I want you to do before you go to bed tonight. I want you to go to bed tonight. And what I want you to do before you go to sleep tonight, I want you to allow yourself, now pay attention to that word, to see the people that you want showing up in your life, where they're going to be. So he said, tomorrow I'm going to be going to this coffee shop. And he said, I'm going to allow my mind to be aware and to notice these people. He pictured it vivid. He knew what was going on. The second thing that he did was he did it before he went to bed. So he thought about it in the night, and before he went to bed said, you know what? I'm going to allow that to happen. And that is what the Hughes brothers did. They allowed it to happen. They weren't doubting. They weren't worrying. They just said those words, I'm going to allow it to happen. But it's step 3 that really makes it work. Taking your goal, taking your dream, taking the thing that you want. And I did this with this real estate agent and putting in a time and a place. Well, the real estate agent put it in a time and place, and he said, it's going to happen tomorrow, somewhere between getting up in the morning and going to this coffee shop. Calls me back later that day. He said, Michael, you know what happened that was super crazy and super cool? It was the lady behind the counter. When she asked me, what do you do? She said, you know what's funny? My mother is looking for a property right now. He calls me back. He says, Michael, you wouldn't believe. I said, no, buddy, that's where you got it wrong. It's you that didn't believe. And thank God for the USA, and thank God for, the Hughes brothers believing in themselves, because he said, not only do I picture myself getting this goal in overtime, in the game, tomorrow, off my stick, I'm going to be the one who does it. See, when you give your dreams and goals a place and time to live, they're not dreams anymore. They're the beginning of creating a reality. And that's something all of us need to decide to do. It's the easiest thing in the world. And what's funny is high performers, a lot of times, they don't even realize they're taking on this formula. They had no idea that they're visualizing so heavy, that they're thinking about it often. They're believing in themselves. They're allowing it to happen. Step 4, work to get a co-conspirator. I want you to remember that he looked over to his brother and asked, what are you thinking about? And he said, celebrating, or celly as we say in hockey, celebrating the overtime winning goal that I'm going to get. Well, the 4th step is one that we all need to get better at. See, getting things that are not happening in reality right now is a way that we conspire. We think about turning the reality we have into the reality we want. And in my world, I call it creating and getting a co-conspirator, someone to believe with you. See, the greatest thing in the world is when somebody believes in us and they believe it's possible. But imagine your dream and you co-conspire with another person to believe together. So you got these 2 boys that are believing together. You got Quinn and Jack believing together that it's possible, with a team that believes, that a country is behind them. That's what creates a reality in your life, going from something you dream about to something you think about. What I wanted to do is take a couple seconds and for you to see this in real time. I want you to hear the words come from his mouth so you can hear it. So it's not some crazy stuff that I made up here. It is the same strategy that I've been teaching for 25 years that a 24-year-old boy used to be known as one of the greatest goals in USA hockey history. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what Jack said, and you can start doing this too.
So take us through that conversation.
Oh, it was like 2 in the morning. We both shut it down, probably 11:30. I could hear him, these barracks, man. I can hear him rolling around in bed. And we're rolling for like 2 hours. I'm like, I think he asked me, what are you thinking about? And I'm like, this is 2 hours in. I'm like, man, I just keep replaying my OT winner. What about you? He's like, same, man. I keep like thinking about my OT winner tomorrow. And that's what you dream about, you know?
So here's my challenge to you. Go out and use that strategy today. Think of something you want, get excited about it, visualize it, picture it, think about it before you go to bed. Let someone know. If you don't have the co-conspirator yet, use me as your co-conspirator and pick a date and time. That's where things start to happen. All right, if you found value in this video and you're a person that truly wants to make your goals a reality, I'm gonna tell you to go right now to my channel. Make certain to subscribe so I can share more of the gold nuggets with you.